What's up, YouTube? So this is going to be my 2024 desk tour. Now, this desk setup has been optimized to be completely minimal, but at the same time, give me maximum efficiency when it comes to my productivity. And it's not the best desk setup out there, but for me, this is what works, and this is what makes my life the most simplest and allows me to get the best work possible out while at the same time being the most productive that I can. So for starters, let's talk about the desk. This is a Flexi Spot desk. I believe it's the E6 or T6, something like that. This is the cheapest desk that they offer. I wasn't quite familiar with Flexi Spot, so in order for me to get into the ecosystem, I just wanted to get the cheapest desk that they had and just kind of test out what they offered. Now, I was very surprised by the desk because it was pretty sturdy. The countertop, in my opinion, is the most cost-effective thing that you get out of the legs and the desk. I feel like the countertop is more high quality rather than the legs. Now, this is the cheapest one that they offer, so I didn't expect it to be as sturdy as my last one. I feel like any sudden movements, shifting left or right, the desk will wobble. It's not wobbling to the point where you feel like it will break, so that's a good thing. And I feel like that's my only complaint about it. It rises to a decent height and it lowers to a decent height. For the most part, it's very simple. It doesn't have any preset buttons that you can press to, set certain heights and lower it to certain heights. It just has an up and down, which is all that I needed. And I think the next time around, I might opt in to get a more expensive desk. And I like this light oak wood color because it just lightens up the room and makes a nice color contrast with all of my black and gray accessories. Now, the thing that powers this entire setup is my 14-inch M1 MacBook Pro, and this is an absolute power horse. I have no complaints with this laptop whatsoever. It does everything that I needed to do this far, but I must admit, when I first got it, I absolutely did not need this much processing power. But now that I've gotten into more editing and just more creating in general, I use every bit of power that it has and everything that it has to offer. I do want to upgrade eventually. I think I'm gonna try to upgrade this year, because my computer is starting to slow up just a tad bit too much for me. So I think it's time to upgrade, and whatever Apple drops this year, I will probably be trading this in to get that and just rinse and repeat the whole process over again. And the monitor that's hooked up to my M1 MacBook Pro is a Mac Studio display. And the number one reason why I decided to get this expensive ass monitor is because I'm deeply inside of the Apple ecosystem. And one thing that I noticed, if you don't get the correct monitor, when you're editing, your colors will look one way on the screen, and then when you send it to your phone or you upload it to social media, it'll just be off. And I got tired of that, so the only thing that made sense was to get Apple to Apple, right? That way my colors match, everything's compatible, everything cross ports perfectly, and I have no issues. The only thing that I will say with the display that I actually didn't like is the fact that you can't use other devices on it. For instance, if you want to use your gaming PC, you couldn't do that, but I found a workaround. There's a special HDMI cord that you can buy that allows you to use your gaming PCs on this monitor so that you don't have to have multiple setups or multiple monitors on your desk, and just declutters everything and makes it a lot more minimal and simple. So now let's get into the peripherals. I'm still rocking the MX Keys Mini and MX Master 3. And these combo of a mouse and keyboard is probably some of the best out, especially when you're talking about an Apple ecosystem. With the keyboard, you can set 3 custom devices that allows you to sync directly to it in a matter of a second. And this comes in handy when you have multiple devices at your setup. If I want to use my mouse and keyboard for my iPad, I can do that. If I want to use it for my gaming PC, I can do that. And if I want to use it for my MacBook, I can do that with the click of a button. And it just saves me a lot of time because I don't have to hook up USB drives and dongles and things like that to transfer connectivity to different devices. Now, one thing that I did add to the desk is an Apple trackpad. And I honestly just wanted to try this out for aesthetic reasons, but I found that I actually like it. For some reason, in my opinion, the trackpad does different things than the MX Master 3 does. For instance, I feel like on the trackpad, just the fluidity and the smoothness that I'm able to edit is a lot easier. Whereas I feel like with the MX Master 3, I can do more within one device. For my microphone, I'm using a Samsung Q9U, and the reason why I love this microphone is not only because the sound quality is really good, but you can use XLR cable or you can use USB-C to power it. Now, the USB-C is obviously not going to be as strong as the XLR, but it's still very, very strong and usable. And in my case, I typically probably use USB-C connectivity more than XLR, unless it's hooked up to my FX3. I'm typically always using USB-C, and this makes things a lot more simple and easier for me. A lot of us don't understand interfaces and the things you need to get crisp and clean audio with certain microphones. So having a microphone like this that allows you to get the best of both worlds and not need a cloud lifter and other things just to use the microphone in general, I think it's very valuable when it comes in handy. And so go check those out. I will have links to everything in my desk setup. I will have links to it in the description below, so go check it out. When I bought this mic, it was around $150. I believe you can catch them nowadays for around $100, and they might even have an updated version. I haven't checked. For audio, I just bought the Apple AirPods Max, and I don't quite feel like these are worth $500, but I do feel like they somewhere around $350 and $450. And these AirPods are amazing. Now, this is the most expensive pair of AirPods or headphones that I've had ever. And I'm not like a headphone enthusiast. I don't know the specs on it. I don't understand audio or sound that well, but to what I actually like the sound. I like the noise cancellation. And as far as editing and hearing voiceovers and just the sounds within a video, these get the job done. And I think you can use anything. You don't have to go as expensive as the AirPods Max, but again, I like to stay within the Apple ecosystem and just use things that are Apple. And like I said, guys, I will have links to everything in the description below. My desk setup isn't anything spectacular, very basic, very minimal. It's optimized to give me max productivity throughout my day and throughout my creative process. This is what works for me. I really encourage everybody to make a space that's comfortable for you and make a space that's built for you in general. And if you do that, I do believe that you will create better and you will create more, just because your space is more comfortable and everything is how you need it to be.